Hey guys, welcome again to our channel, Forces of Fascism and Freedom, promoting a bottom-up democracy and calling for an end to top-down fascism, promoting freedoms of speech absolutism as opposed to freedom of speech exceptionism. There's no such word. I coined it. So last time we learned about the forces of fascism coming from China, and this is democracy, all the hands. What do all these guys want? So that's the question. Do they want LGBTQT fetishes, rights, and stuff like that? Or could there be something, less than 1% of the people have this? Should be worrying about trans bathrooms and this kind of thing. So, and basically, yes, before we start, just let you know, this channel sees things no other channel does. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So thank you so much. Let's get into it. So how did the Chinese government, the CCP, get so much power? So, this is gold, by the way. This is amount of gold found in the basement of a corrupt Chinese official. So we actually made the 90 million Chinese Communist Party members rich beyond belief. Understand that every successful Chinese corporation has multiple CCP members on its executive board. So in other words, the corporations and banks are the CCP and vice versa, especially those are at the largest and most successful. Here's how capitalism works in China. If your company becomes successful enough, then it gets rewarded with Communist Party members placed inside of your company, whether you like it or not. So the United States is starting to follow this model. Members CIA, FBI, and Democrats giving marching instructions to social media platforms, also TV networks, CNN, ABC, MSNBC. Complete list. If you want to comment down below, try to get as many to have a complete list of these types of corrupt media outlets. Fairly handy to have, so just to you know who to trust. So are these examples of how what are these examples of how corrupt and rich the criminal CCP is? Are there examples of that? Let's see here. So this is China's most corrupt official. This is about Lai Zhaomin. Did I say that right? Lai Zhaomin, something like that. So it's a banker and a low-level CCP member with basically $300 million in cash, his refrigerator, 100 mistresses located in 100 properties that he owns. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So I dropped the money off. I call it the supermarket. Stowed in cabinets. That's an absolute lie right there. I never spent any of it. How do you have 100 houses and 100 mistresses and you didn't spend any of it? Come on, man. The money sat there. What was I supposed to do with all that dirty money? I was too afraid to spend any of it. Aw, I truly feel sorry for him. Sounds like a really terrible predicament there that he's in. It's just something that is pretty phenomenal. And this is one of the lower level guys. And so are there any other examples, that they have all this type of money, but every once in a while, they purge one to make it look to the average Joe China citizen that there's actually law and order in the government. So this guy, Lao Zhaomin, I think I said it right there, became too obvious and just took it a step too far. He became too well renowned. But remember, even the low-level CCP members have this type of money. So last video showed you how they were organ harvesting. So here's another example of something very bad. They just simply steal your money. So I'm going to play this here. This is the Henan Banks protest. So our channel notices things that nobody else does. So stay tuned for the next episode. So here it is here. Protesters started to gather. This particular bank, actually, they stole like $1.5 billion from hundreds of these people. Could have been thousands of people depositing their money in these banks. People save money in their banks because they trust the state credit that the banks represent. Because even the establishment of the smallest banks has to be reviewed and approved by the Chinese Banking Regulatory Commission and central banks, and their operations are under the supervision of these agencies.
按照储蓄存款条例，我们的储蓄取款自由的权利不应该因为银行股东和高管的犯罪行为而受到影响。
Henan Banks, give me my money back. So here they have these beautiful banners here. They were nice enough to put one in English against the corruption and violence of the Henan government. So the Henan government, but they're in front of a bank. But the government is the bank, and the bank is the government. So they're not going to get their money back because criminals don't usually give money back, as far as I know. So let's keep it rolling here. President Xi investigate Henan. Wait, President Xi gets some kind of a cut from both criminal activities and legal activities. So if you're counting on him to give you their money back, yeah, it would be kind of, I mean, this is their opportunity to have somebody come in from either the Henan government, Xi Jinping himself, or just some kind of a spokesperson to come in and just calm them down and say that, you know. But what they do instead is another story. So to add insult to injury, so we got these guys gathering. They got like white shirts on. That is so strange. That these guys in white shirts, basically, if anybody knows specifically any more information in regards to them, let me know. Some say they're the triads, which is like an organized criminal organization that's tied to maybe the Henan banks. And Xi Jinping said, well, we're not going to put the police in there. It's your mess. You clean it up. Send your triads in. So these are hired thugs, I would say. To keep it simple, hired thugs in white shirts come to basically beat you up. So they took your money. Now they're going to beat you up. So that's how they handle it over there. So let's roll this. Why are they all running in? And you can see a bunch of water bottles. And I really wish there was more than just water bottles here. I wish what can I say? I wish for those they had grenades, is what I was wishing for them. But anyway, here they are. Depositors getting pounded. They start beating the protesters. Boom. Oh, what is this? A pincer movement. Okay, some of the guys coming in from the side to beat up the bank protesters. They're throwing everything at these guys. So yeah, that's what can happen, I guess. So yeah, that's the Henan Bank protest. The rest of the average Joe, Chinese citizens, remain as cheap work slaves who at any point in time may be beaten up by the police and have their stuff taken away from them. So, and would it pain you to know that we're actually helping these bad guys? So, here it is here. It's beautiful. That's all the products that you're purchasing from these bad guys. So we're partially responsible for the situation by brainlessly purchasing Chinese garbage for decades and not taking an active role in our democracy. We also allow our corrupt leaders to get bribed by Chinese criminals. We take responsibility now for our democracy. Yeah? So let's take a look at that's just beautiful. I mean, instead of producing manufactured goods on here, this is the way they're going to do it. How much fuel does this thing take? All the effort of putting this on top of a ship, taking it off, and then is cheaper. I can't honestly believe this method here is cheaper than manufacturing it here and then shipping it straight to the stores from the manufacturing companies over here. So that's going to change. It's got to change. But there's going to be a transition. But after that transition is made, it's definitely going to be worth it. Because we can't just keep on doing this. Here it is. Oh man, that is so beautiful. Is it beautiful? It's not. I have another episode on some of these boats actually can carry opium on them, and they've been caught. So that's for another episode. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But just seeing this boat just absolutely amazes me. The tugboats, they're so powerful. Ever ace. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah. Responsible. So now China has been exporting fascism to America, many other countries worldwide. So the question is, how have they been doing that? So that's fun, raining money. So that's basically all the money that they've been receiving from us. So we all think that Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, but members of the CCP make Elon look penniless. There's no transparency in China, and any information coming from officials is complete and utter lies, and most likely manipulation at best. These are the characteristics of narcissism and psychopathy. So some simple mathematics, adding up Western society, buying cheaply made Chinese products for decades, the accumulated total amounts become astronomical. So this channel is catching things that even most news outlets are not even seeing. So misinformation about China is rampant. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So thank you so much. But to conclude this idea, Xi Jinping has immense, horrific power over the hundreds of trillions of net worth of the country. He rules as a god. So we in Western society have a deficit, but China has none. So they're actually lending us money. And how are they using this excess money to export their fascism to almost every part of the world? So Xi Jinping is basically passing out $1 billion bills. Here you go. The president has accepted one. Many social media platforms accepted a few. And university has definitely accepted many billion-dollar bills. We may not know it, but we're behind the eight ball right now. So and with your help, that's going to change. And there are many fascist collaborators who are helping to push their propaganda, like for instance, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, even on YouTube. So those are some of the things that you find. And if you hear about this, never listen to news or YouTube channels or articles that say China's collapsing. They'll say China's demographic dictates a coming population implosion is imminent. Their economy is collapsing. Their real estate market is collapsing. On and on like that. So are these YouTubers working for China? This is actually a disservice because it makes you breathe like a sigh of relief. It's like, whew, I don't have to worry about them. They're collapsing, right? So, and simply, it's not true. So, The CCP does not, at this particular point, even need the average Joe Chinese people anymore. They have so much money, it's like they're retired. So if you take like an example, it's like a metaphor. If somebody at the age of 25 graduated from the best university in surgery, let's say, and he made super good coin because he's a surgeon, he made like $500,000 a year, and he worked for 40 years. 40 years, he made like $20 million, and he lived with his mother and didn't spend a single dime. Basically, that guy's done. They do not need nothing anymore. Not their mother, not their job, nothing. So they're done. So I use this metaphor because CCP members do not even need their citizens anymore. The psychopathic CCP look at their own citizens now as just tools for their own enrichment. And I got to tell you, some politicians, even in America, this is what we call the deep state. So the deep state are just taking buckets of your tax-paying money, unfortunately, and just using it to enrich themselves, up until one particular president came along who is not a fascist. And now they're trying to accuse them that he is, and that is total narcissism, psychopathy. That's called projection. So you want to say the exact same thing you are, but we're going to call him that. So that is the type of projection that's going on right there. So yeah, citizens, that is tools for their own enrichment. But stay tuned for more episodes to come, because there's incredible stuff ahead. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Let us have a democratic revival. Stay a beautiful, democracy-loving patriot. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about some practical things that you can do to resist. So until next time, you are the forces of freedom.